shop. Welcome back to Worth Guitars. It's good to talk to you again. Hope things are going well for you out there in the world. I thought you might be interested in seeing how the, I almost forgot what it was called, the T-style build is going. The one that we did the Tru Oil filler on. That's what she looks like so far. The oil and the filler that we used mixed in the oil did a really nice job. This has got about 6 coats of Tru Oil on it now. There's the top. Top is looking good. And the neck is looking really sweet. Feels good. I'm putting some more on the headstock. Then I'm going to seal that after this dries another day. I'm going to seal that and then put the decal on it. That'll be good to go on the headstock, head plate, and on the back. And then I'm just going to keep buffing this down and applying Tru Oil. So I'll show you how I do that. In case you're interested in doing it yourself, I use this gray Scotch-Brite. The gray color works really well for this. I don't know what grit this would be, but it knocks the gloss off. It knocks off any little gritty stuff that may be in there, you know, from doing the finish. And we just buff it back down, going with the grain. Knocks that gloss off. Like that there. I'll get you over a little closer so you can see what it looks like. There you go. So I'm just buffing it out. Knocking the gloss off of it. Flattening it a little. I used steel wool on the last coat. And I'm going to say I don't like the steel wool so much. And the reason is, like, there's little tiny pieces of steel wool in there where I didn't get it cleaned off quite as well as I should. Get the inside here. You can see how I took the shine back off of it like that. That. Work around the edges. Now, some people prefer that hand rubbed finish like that. They don't want it to be glossy. And it's smoother. It doesn't quite feel as, you know, when you have something that's really glossy, it kind of wants to feel kind of sticky when you start to sweat. There's nowhere for the air to get in. But for some reason, when it's that satin like that, it doesn't feel as sticky on your hand. I can't really explain why. think I have enough on the neck now. I don't really want to put any more on there. That feels good. That's got a nice satin finish on it. There's about 5-6 coats on there now. I'm going to take that off though because I got to spray the back and the front where the decal goes on because the decal doesn't work so good with Tru Oil. What I'll do is put the decals on, spray it, and then buff it back down to make it match, you know, take the gloss off the lacquer so it's satin again. I'm gonna hit this head plate one more time. That's looking good. All right, we got that all buffed down. Make sure we get all the dirt off of it. Should be probably one of the last coats that goes on. And we'll call that a guitar. We'll start assembling this thing after we get the decals set up properly. Clean. And I'm going to make like a nice pad out of it, for padding it on. Tuck that around so it's a nice smooth surface right there. Nice and smooth. And want to try and get really nice even coat across the grain like that. Not across the grain, but with the grain like that. Try to wipe it on as evenly as possible so that it'll flow out. That's what we want. Right. Get it on there, and we'll come back and do the with the grain thing. It really drank that coat up. I'm gonna put a little more on there. And we're gonna let it dry for a good day before we do anything else. What I'm trying to do is get a very thin, wet coat. I don't want it to be any streaks in there where it's a little drier. All right, I think that's it. Hit this. back and sides. Pretty. I think that looks good. We'll keep it right there for now. And I'll come back, check on it a little later, see how it looks. All right? Hang on, I'll be right back. Hey, Steve's here, guys. He's over here working on Travis Gates single cutaway. Wet sanding the, I went ahead and bought, because I really liked the way the, what did I do with that guitar? Hold on one second, I'll be right back.
This stuff is amazing, y'all.
What did I do with the blue guitar?
I asked myself that same question.
Oh, it's over on the rack.
Here it is.
I get it. Okay, here it is. So here's the Sonic Blue. This is the Nitorlac into cans. And it's been wet sanded and ready for top coat. I might let Steve work on it just a little bit more this morning. I just kind of roughly wet sanded it. Steve's better at it than me. He's got the touch. But I was so impressed with the quality of the lacquer coming out of the can, even though you had to spray it a lot, that I went ahead and bought the Nitorlac like this, so you get more of it and you can control the way you spray it out of your own spray gun. This is Olympic white. And Steve says it wet sands really nicely.
Steve Stevens is much better at flybys, but this was, getting it to this point was pretty effortless.
What grit did you use?
1,000.
So that's 1,000 grit right off the bat to take the orange peel off of the initial. It's got 4 coats of Olympic white on it.
Usually takes about 4 sheets, and I did it in 2.
Yeah, so it turned out really well. So we're gonna put that in the spray room today, hit it with the gloss, and this one as well. So these bad boys will be on the way to getting done. So that's what else we got going on. And one other thing I have to show you, we're gonna do a video for this guitar, but I thought you might be interested in seeing it with the strings on it. The 0028. Let me put this away so it's not banging into stuff. And take this glove off, make sure my hands are clean. So this is the 0028. And she sounds really good. We'll do a better video with some music coming out of it. I still need to put the notches in the saddle. I adjusted the nut last night, got it to where I like it. My test to see if the nut is set up properly is if I can do this. If I can do that without too much hassle, I feel like I got the nut set up right. I set up the nut, in case you're curious, so that there is no more than 20 thousandths of an inch below the string to the first fret. Underneath the string to the first fret, the top of the first fret. And I do that with a StewMac nut gauge. There's a video back a ways showing how I use it. But that works really well. If you go slightly lower than that, you're okay on the higher strings, the unwound strings. If you go much lower than that, you might be able to get 15 thousandths underneath there, but you're gonna get close to getting a string buzz from there. So there she is. I'm gonna do a better video, but just listen to how this thing rings. I hope you can hear that. And it's very vibrant. I mean, when you're playing it, you can just feel the whole guitar vibrating in your hand, which is pretty darn cool. you wanted to. Sounds good. She settled down real good into a guitar. Haven't had any issues with it at all. Haven't heard any weird cracks. Nothing popped off. Not that I would expect it to, but you know, you're always worried when you bring it up to tension. You're like, but you know, if you do what you're supposed to do, nothing's going to happen. But man, she's sounding good. So we're going to do a better video for this with some music coming out of it, not just goofing around. But there it is. I hope you have been watching the build for it. If you have, that's what she looks like. We're going to do a video with some real music coming out of it very soon, so you can really hear what it sounds like, get a mic on it and stuff. But that's all I got for you today, man. I'm going to get back to work. We got a full day of work ahead of us here. Me and Steve, we got to get hustling, all right? So be good to each other out there. It was good to talk to you again. And before I get away, I'd just like to give a big shout out to my brother Curtis Boggs, who did a documentary film about Worth guitars. And he entered it in a bunch of different film festivals for short documentaries. And he won the Cannes Film Festival Best Short Documentary. So excellent job, Curtis. Man, you did a great job on that. I'm very honored to be a part of it. Mark Dunn's music is in there. There's an appearance by Anthony Rosano as well. And it's making its rounds around the film festival circuit. And when it finishes doing that and it comes off of the film festival circuit, we'll be able to watch the whole documentary on PBS for a show that they have called Curate. And I'll put some links in there for that, and a link to my brother Curtis Boggs' production company. So if you need a video shot, man, you might look him up because he does excellent work. And I think that's all I got for you. All right? You guys be good to each other out there. We'll see you out there very soon. Peace. Worth guitars. Bye now.